Take a slow, deep breath and let it out gently. Feel the weight of the day begin to melt away. You are safe here. You are welcome here. Before you, a narrow path stretches into the distance. It is dusk, and the sky is painted in soft shades of lavender and gold. The air is cool, carrying the scent of pine and wildflowers. Somewhere nearby, a small stream murmurs over smooth stones, its voice steady and calm. You take your first step. The ground beneath your feet is soft, cushioned by moss and fallen leaves. The trees lean gently toward the path, their branches swaying in a slow, graceful rhythm. A breeze moves through the forest, carrying with it a faint sound, almost like words, almost like music, as if the forest itself is whispering secrets meant only for you. You walk slowly, without hurry. Every step feels lighter than the last. You notice a cluster of glowing mushrooms by the side of the path. Their light is a pale blue, casting soft halos on the ground. The air here feels warmer, as though the forest is wrapping you in a quiet embrace. Farther ahead, you come to a small wooden bridge arching over the stream you heard earlier. The water glimmers in the fading light, silver and calm. You pause in the middle of the bridge, resting your hands on the smooth railing. The stream's voice is clearer now, a gentle conversation between water and stone. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the sound wash through you, carrying away the last traces of tension. When you open your eyes, you notice a small lantern hanging from the bridge's post. Its flame flickers softly, though there is no wind here. You take the lantern, and as you do, the path ahead seems to brighten, as if the light is guiding you towards something important. The forest begins to change. The trees grow taller, their trunks silver white, their leaves shimmering like tiny mirrors. The air is filled with the scent of jasmine and honey. Somewhere nearby, a night bird sings a slow, melodic tune. You follow the path until it opens into a meadow bathed in moonlight. In the center stands an ancient oak, its branches wide and welcoming. Beneath it, a small table is set with a single cup of tea, steam curling into the cool night air. You sit, feeling the smooth wood of the chair beneath you, and lift the cup to your lips. The tea tastes of chamomile and something sweeter, something you can't quite name. With each sip, your mind grows quieter, your body heavier in the most comforting way. When the cup is empty, you notice a figure standing at the edge of the meadow, cloaked in deep blue. They raise a hand in greeting. Without speaking, they turn and begin walking toward a distant hill. You follow, the lantern still in your hand. The climb is gentle, and at the top, the world opens before you. Rolling hills, silver rivers, and a sky so full of stars it feels endless. The cloaked figure gestures for you to sit beside them. Together, you watch as a shooting star arcs across the sky, leaving a trail of light that lingers far longer than it should. The figure finally speaks, their voice low and calm. Every step you have taken tonight has under this sky, you are whole. You feel the truth of their words settle deep within you. The night air is cool on your skin, the grass soft beneath your hands. You lie back, gazing up at the stars, and the figure's voice becomes softer, slower, until it blends with the sounds of the night. Your eyelids grow heavy, the stars blur into a gentle haze. The last thing you feel is the earth beneath you, steady and warm, holding you as you drift deeper into peace. The night sky stretches endlessly above you, each star a tiny lantern in the vast darkness. The cloaked figure beside you rises slowly, their movements unhurried, as though time itself has softened here. They gesture for you to follow once more, and together you descend the gentle slope of the hill. The lantern in your hand glows steadily, casting a warm circle of light on the path ahead. The air is cooler now, carrying the faint scent of rain. Though the sky remains clear, somewhere in the distance you hear the soft chime of bells, their tones drifting on the breeze like fragments of a dream. You walk in silence, your footsteps muffled by the moss-covered ground. The forest returns, but it feels different here. The trees are taller, their trunks smooth and pale, their leaves shimmering with a faint silver light. Tiny motes of brightness float in the air, drifting lazily like fireflies, though they seem to glow from within. The path leads you to a small clearing where a pool of water lies perfectly still, reflecting the stars above as if the sky has been laid upon the earth. You kneel at the edge, peering into the water, and for a moment you see not your reflection, but a vision. A memory of a time when you felt completely at peace. It might be a place you once visited, a moment you once lived, or perhaps something that exists only in your heart. The image fades gently, leaving only the calm surface of the pool. The cloaked figure speaks softly. The path shows you what you carry within. Some things you will keep, others you will set down. You rise, and the two of you continue. The sound of the bells grows clearer until you reach a small stone archway draped in flowering vines. Beyond it lies a garden bathed in moonlight, each flower glowing faintly in shades of blue, violet, and white. The air is rich with fragrance, lavender, night-blooming jasmine, and something sweet you cannot name. In the center of the garden stands a marble fountain. Water flows from the hands of a carved figure, the sound gentle and rhythmic, like a heartbeat slowed to perfect calm. You sit on the edge of the fountain, letting your fingers trail through the cool water. The sensation is grounding, as if the water is carrying away the last remnants of worry from your mind. The cloaked figure places a small object in your hand, a smooth stone, warm to the touch. This is a marker of your journey, they say. When you feel lost, hold it, and remember the path you have walked. You slip the stone into your pocket, feeling its comforting weight. The figure smiles faintly, then turns toward a narrow gate at the far end of the garden. You follow, passing through into a meadow where the grass sways gently in the night breeze. Above, the moon hangs low and full, casting a silver glow over everything. The sound of the bells has faded, replaced by the distant rush of water. You walk toward it, and soon you find yourself standing at the edge of a wide river. Its surface glimmers like liquid glass, and the current moves slowly, as if reluctant to disturb the night. A small wooden boat waits at the shore, its lantern already lit. The cloaked figure steps inside and offers you a hand. You accept, and the boat rocks gently as you settle onto the wooden bench. The figure takes up the oars, and the boat glides away from the shore. The only sounds are the soft splash of the oars and the quiet hum of the night. You watch the reflections of the stars ripple across the water, each one stretching and bending before returning to stillness. The river carries you deeper into the unknown, yet you feel no fear, only a growing sense of peace, as though every moment on this path is leading you closer to something you have always known, but never named. The boat drifts toward a bend in the river, and as you pass it, the world around you begins to change once more. The boat glides forward, the oars dipping into the water with a slow, steady rhythm. The sound is hypnotic. A soft splash, a gentle pull, the faint creak of wood. The river widens here, and the banks drift farther away, fading into shadow. Above, the stars seem closer, as if leaning down to watch your passage. The cloaked figure rows without hurry, their gaze fixed on the horizon. You feel no need to speak. The silence between you is not empty. It is full, rich with the quiet presence of the night. After a time, the current begins to quicken, carrying the boat toward a place where the river narrows again. The sound of water changes, a low, distant murmur that grows with each passing moment. Soon, you see it, a gentle cascade spilling from a rocky ledge into the river below. The water glows faintly in the moonlight, as though lit from within. The figure guides the boat to a small inlet beside the falls. You step onto the shore. The stones cool beneath your feet. Mist rises from the cascade, drifting through the air like soft breath. It clings to your skin, cool and refreshing, carrying with it the scent of rain and stone. A narrow path winds upward beside the falls. You follow it, the sound of rushing water growing louder until it fills your ears completely. At the top, you find a small pool where the water gathers before spilling over the edge. The surface is perfectly still, despite the constant flow, a mirror reflecting the stars above. The cloaked figure kneels beside the pool and gestures for you to do the same. This is the place where the sky meets the earth, they say softly. Here, you may ask a question, and the water will answer. You close your eyes and let the question form in your mind. It is not a question of words, but of feeling. Something deep, something you have carried for a long time. When you open your eyes, the water ripples. Though no wind stirs it, shapes form in the reflection. Not clear images, but impressions, colors, and light. You feel the answer more than you understand it, and somehow that is enough. The figure rises, and you follow them back down the path. The boat waits where you left it, rocking gently in the current. You step inside, and the journey continues. The river bends, and the landscape changes once more. The trees here are taller, their trunks dark and smooth, their leaves whispering in the breeze. Fireflies drift lazily through the air, their lights blinking in slow, steady patterns. The air is warmer now, carrying the scent of wild mint and damp earth. In the distance, you see a faint glow, not the cold light of the moon, but the warm flicker of fire. As you draw closer, you see a small village nestled among the trees. Lanterns hang from the eaves of wooden houses, their light spilling onto the cobblestone paths. The sound of quiet laughter drifts through the air, mingling with the soft strum of a stringed instrument. The figure guides the boat to a small dock, and you step onto the shore. The village feels timeless, untouched by the rush of the outside world. People move slowly here, their voices low, their smiles gentle. A woman offers you a cup of something warm, tea, perhaps, or spiced milk. You sip it, and the taste is rich and soothing, filling you with a deep sense of comfort. The cloaked figure leads you through the village to a small square, where a fire burns in a stone hearth. Around it, people sit on low benches, speaking in quiet tones. One of them begins to tell a story, a tale of the river, the forest, and the stars. The words are slow and deliberate, each one falling like a pebble into still water. You listen, and the story seems to weave itself into your own journey. The faces around the fire blur, and for a moment, you're not sure if you are hearing their story or remembering your own. The fire crackles softly, and the warmth seeps into your bones. When the story ends, the figure touches your shoulder. It is time to move on. You leave the village quietly, the sound of the fire and the storyteller's voice lingering in your mind. Back in the boat, the river carries you onward, deeper into the night. Branches part one last time, and you step into a hidden glade. Here the air is warmer, touched by the scent of cedar and soft earth. The ground is covered in a thick carpet of moss, so plush it feels like walking on clouds. In the center of the glade stands a stone circle, each stone worn smooth by centuries of wind and rain. A gentle light glows from within the circle, not from fire or lantern, but from the air itself. A soft, golden radiance that seems to hum with quiet energy. The cloaked figure walks to the center and turns to face you. Their voice is calm, steady, and low. This is the heart of the path. Here, you may set down all that you no longer wish to carry. You close your eyes and take a slow breath. In your mind, you see the weight you've been holding. Worries, doubts, old memories that no longer serve you. One by one, you imagine placing them gently on the moss within the circle. With each one you release, your body feels lighter, your breath deeper, your heart calmer. When you open your eyes, the golden light has grown brighter, as if the glade itself has accepted your offering. The figure nods, a faint smile on their lips. The path will always be here. You may return whenever you wish. They step aside, revealing a narrow trail that leads out of the glade. You follow, the moss soft beneath your feet, the air growing cooler as you walk. The trail opens onto a high cliff overlooking the vast lake you crossed earlier. The moon hangs low, its reflection stretching across the water like a silver bridge. A small bench sits at the cliff's edge. You sit, feeling the smooth wood beneath you, and gaze out over the still water. The night is utterly quiet now. No wind, no rustle of leaves, only the steady rhythm of your own breath. The cloaked figure sits beside you. For a long moment, neither of you speaks. Then, in a voice barely above a whisper, they say, "You have walked far tonight. You have listened. You have let go. Now it is time to rest." You lean back, letting your eyes drift closed. The bench feels warm beneath you, the air cool against your skin. Somewhere far below, the water laps gently at the shore, a sound as soft as a lullaby. Your breathing slows, your thoughts grow quiet. The world narrows to the steady beat of your heart, and the deep, grounding presence of the earth beneath you. The figure's voice comes one last time, distant now, like a dream already fading. Sleep well, traveler. The path will be here when you wake. The golden light of the glade lingers in your mind, warm and steady, as you drift into the deepest, most peaceful sleep. The river narrows again, and the current carries you forward with a gentle insistence. The air grows cooler, touched by the faint scent of pine and distant rain. The moonlight filters through the canopy above, breaking into silver shards that dance on the water's surface. The cloaked figure rows in silence, their eyes fixed on the path ahead. You feel the rhythm of the oars in your body, a slow, steady pulse that matches your breathing. The world beyond the river feels far away now, as though you have slipped into a place where time moves differently. Soon, the sound of the water changes. It becomes softer, more melodic, as if the river itself is humming a lullaby. The boat drifts into a narrow channel lined with tall reeds. Their feathery tops sway gently, brushing against one another with a sound like whispered words. The channel opens into a hidden lagoon. The water here is perfectly still, reflecting the stars so clearly that it feels as though you are floating in the sky itself. In the center of the lagoon stands a single tree, its roots anchored in a small island of stone. Its branches are heavy with blossoms that glow faintly, their petals drifting down to rest on the water like tiny lanterns. The figure guides the boat to the island. You step onto the stone, feeling its warmth beneath your feet. The air here is thick with the scent of the blossoms, sweet, calming, almost intoxicating. You reach out to touch one of the petals, and it dissolves into a soft light that lingers on your fingertips before fading away. The cloaked figure speaks in a voice barely above the sound of your breath. This is the tree of quiet dreams. Each blossom holds a moment of peace, waiting to be remembered. They gesture for you to sit at the base of the tree. You do, leaning back against its smooth trunk. The petals continue to fall around you, each one carrying a memory of stillness, of safety, of rest. As they touch your skin, you feel your thoughts slow, your body grow heavier, your heart settle into a steady, gentle rhythm. You close your eyes, and for a moment you are nowhere and everywhere at once. The scent of the blossoms fills your lungs, and the sound of the lagoon stillness fills your ears. You could stay here forever, and perhaps in some way, you will. When you open your eyes, the figure is waiting. They offer you a single blossom. Its glow steady and warm. Keep this, they say. When the world feels too loud, it will guide you back here. You take the blossom and tuck it safely away. The figure leads you back to the boat, and soon you are drifting away from the island. The lagoon fades behind you, its light growing softer until it is only a memory. The river widens once more, and the air changes. It is warmer now, carrying the scent of distant fires and something sweet. Roasted chestnuts, perhaps, or honey. In the distance, you see a faint glow on the horizon. As you draw closer, the glow becomes a cluster of lights, each one swaying gently as if hung from the branches of unseen trees. The boat glides toward the shore, where a narrow wooden pier stretches into the water. You step onto it, the boards creaking softly under your weight. Beyond the pier, a path winds upward through a grove of tall, slender trees. Their trunks are pale, their leaves shimmering in the moonlight like silver coins. The path leads to a small plateau overlooking the river. Here, a circle of lanterns surrounds a low table set with cups of steaming tea. Figures sit cross-legged around it, their faces calm, their voices low. One of them gestures for you to join them. You sit, and a cup is placed in your hands. The tea is fragrant, its steam curling into the cool night air. You take a sip, and the loosening the last knots of tension in your body. The conversation around the table is soft, almost like a song. You do not understand the words, yet their meaning is clear. Welcome, rest, peace. The cloaked figure sits beside you, their presence steady and grounding. For a long while, you simply sit there, sipping tea, listening to the quiet voices, and feeling the night wrap around you like a blanket. When it is time to leave, you rise slowly, carrying the warmth of the tea and the memory of the lanterns with you. The path back to the boat is lit by small candles placed along the ground. Each flame flickers gently, guiding your steps. When you reach the pier, the river is waiting, calm and patient, ready to carry you onward into the next chapter of your journey. The river carries you onward, its surface now smooth as glass, reflecting the deep indigo of the night sky. The air is warmer here, touched by the faint scent of blooming night jasmine. Somewhere in the distance, you hear the soft, rhythmic beat of a drum, slow, steady, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. The cloaked figure rose without speaking, their movements unhurried. The sound of the oars dipping into the water blends with the distant drum, creating a rhythm that seems to guide your breathing. Inhale, exhale. The world narrows to this simple, perfect cadence. The river bends, and the glow of firelight appears ahead. As you draw closer, you see a wide stone terrace built at the water's edge. Torches line its perimeter, their flames swaying gently in the night breeze. Figures move slowly across the terrace, their shadows long and graceful. The boat drifts to a stop beside a set of stone steps. You climb them, feeling the cool, worn surface beneath your feet. At the top, you find yourself in a place that feels both ancient and alive. A gathering space where the air hums with quiet energy. In the center of the terrace, a circle of people sits around a low fire. They're dressed in flowing garments of deep blue and silver, their faces serene. One of them rises and approaches you, holding a small bowl carved from crystal. Inside is water that glows faintly, as if lit from within. They offer it to you without words. You drink, and the water is cool, carrying a taste you cannot name. Something pure, something that feels like memory as it touches your tongue. Images bloom in your mind. A forest at dawn, the sound of rain on leaves, the warmth of a hand in yours. The cloaked figure stands nearby, watching quietly. When you finish, the crystal bowl is taken from your hands, and the person who gave it to you bows slightly before returning to the circle. You are invited to sit. The fire crackles softly, sending sparks drifting upward into the night. The drum beat you heard earlier is here too, played by a figure seated at the edge of the circle. Its sound is slow, steady, grounding. You close your eyes and let the rhythm carry you. It feels as though the drum is speaking directly to your heart, each beat a reminder that you are here, now, safe. When you open your eyes again, the fire is burned lower, its light softer. The cloaked figure gestures for you to rise. You follow them across the terrace to a narrow archway carved into the stone wall. Beyond it lies a passage lit by small oil lamps. The air is cooler here, scented with cedar and earth. The passage slopes gently upward, and soon you emerge onto a high balcony overlooking the river. From here, you can see far into the distance, the winding silver ribbon of the water, the dark shapes of the forest, the faint glow of the moon on the horizon. The view is vast, yet it feels intimate, as though the world has opened itself just for you. The cloaked figure stands beside you, silent. You both watch as a single shooting star arcs across the sky, its trail lingering like a brushstroke of light. After a long moment, they turn and lead you back down the passage, through the terrace and to the waiting boat. The river accepts you once more, its current gentle, its voice low. The drumbeat fades into the distance, replaced by the soft whisper of water against wood. The night deepens, and the journey continues. The river narrows once more, winding between high cliffs draped in ivy. The air here is cooler, and the sound of the water echoes softly against the stone walls, creating a gentle, endless murmur. The moonlight filters down in narrow beams, illuminating patches of the river like silver pathways. The cloaked figure rows with slow, deliberate strokes, guiding the boat deeper into this quiet canyon. You notice that the air smells faintly of rain, though the sky above is clear. Somewhere ahead, you hear the faint trickle of falling water, not a roar, but a delicate, crystalline sound. As you round a bend, you see it, a thin waterfall spilling from a high ledge, its stream so fine it looks like a silver thread unraveling from the sky. The water falls into a small, glowing pool at the base of the cliff. The figure steers the boat toward a narrow landing, and you step onto the smooth stones. The ground here is warm, as if the earth itself is breathing beneath your feet. You walk toward the pool, and as you approach, you see that the glow comes from within the water itself. Tiny motes of light drifting just beneath the surface, swirling slowly, like stars caught in a gentle current. The cloaked figure kneels beside the pool and dips their hand into the water. This is the well of forgotten sorrows, they say softly. Here the river gathers what the heart no longer needs. They gesture for you to do the same. You kneel, letting your fingers touch the surface. The water is cool, and as you hold your hand there, you feel something, a heaviness you didn't know you carried, begin to dissolve. It is not painful. It is like watching mist fade in the morning sun. When you lift your hand, the motes of light cling to your skin for a moment before drifting away. Returning to the pool, you feel lighter, as though a quiet space has opened inside you. The figure rises, and together you return to the boat. The waterfall song fades behind you as the river carries you onward. The cliffs begin to fall away, replaced by rolling hills covered in tall grass that sways in the night breeze. The sound of the grass is soft, like the rustle of silk. Fireflies drift above it, their lights blinking in slow, steady patterns. The boat glides toward a low wooded dock at the edge of the grasslands. You step onto it, and the boards creak gently under your weight. A narrow path winds through the grass, leading toward a cluster of low, round huts. Their walls are made of woven reeds, and warm light spills from their doorways. As you approach, you hear the sound of quiet singing, a single voice, low and melodic, carrying a tune that feels older than the hills themselves. The song is not in a language you know, yet its meaning is clear. Welcome, rest, peace. The cloaked figure leads you to one of the huts. Inside, the air is warm and scented with herbs. A low bed, covered in soft blankets, waits for you. You sit, feeling the gentle give of the mattress beneath you, and the figure places a small clay cup in your hands. The drink inside is warm and sweet, with a hint of spice. As you sip it, your body relaxes further, your thoughts slowing to a gentle drift. The singing outside continues, blending with the sound of the wind in the grass. The figure speaks softly. Tonight, you will sleep here. The path will wait for you until morning. You lie back, the blankets wrapping around you like a gentle embrace. The last thing you hear before sleep takes you is the voice outside, singing to the night, carrying you into dreams. The morning comes slowly, as though the sun itself is reluctant to disturb the peace of this place. You wake to the sound of the wind moving gently through the tall grass outside. Its whisper soft and unhurried. The air is cool, carrying the scent of dew and wildflowers. The cloaked figure is waiting at the doorway of the hut. They do not speak, but their presence is enough to guide you. You rise, feeling rested in a way that goes beyond the body. A deep, quiet renewal that touches the heart. Outside, the village is calm. A few figures move about, tending to small fires or carrying baskets of herbs. They greet you with nods and warm smiles, their eyes reflecting the same stillness you feel within yourself. The figure leads you back to the river, where the boat waits. The water is smooth, reflecting the pale gold of the early light. You step inside, and the journey resumes. The river carries you through a stretch of open meadow, the grass bending in waves beneath the morning breeze. Birdsong fills the air, not loud but clear and melodic, each note a thread in the tapestry of the day's beginning. The light grows warmer, and the world feels as though it is waking with you. Soon, the river narrows again, winding into a grove of ancient trees. Their trunks are massive, their roots twisting into the water like the fingers of giants. The air here is cooler, touched by the scent of damp earth and moss. Sunlight filters through the leaves in shifting patterns, dappling the surface of the river. The figure steers the boat toward a small landing hidden among the roots. You step onto the shore, the ground springy beneath your feet. A narrow path winds upward, and you follow it into the heart of the grove. At its center stands a tree, unlike any you have seen before. Its bark is pale gold, and its leaves shimmer with a light that seems to come from within. Around its base, the ground is covered in small, white flowers that sway gently, though there is no wind. The cloaked figure kneels and places a hand on the tree's trunk. This is the keeper of seasons, they say softly. It remembers every moment, every change, every turning of the wheel. You place your hand beside theirs. The bark is warm, and as you touch it, images flood your mind. The first green shoots of spring, the golden fields of summer, the red and gold leaves of autumn, the quiet snow of winter. Each season flows into the next, a cycle without beginning or end. When you step back, the figure offers you a single leaf from the tree. It glows faintly in your palm, its light steady and calm. Carry this, they say. It will remind you that all things change and all things return. You tuck the leaf safely away, and together you return to the boat. The river carries you onward, the grove fading into the distance. The day grows warmer, and the air is filled with the scent of sun-warmed grass. In the distance, you see the shimmer of heat rising from the water's surface. The figure rows steadily, their gaze fixed ahead. Soon, you hear a new sound, the low, steady hum of countless voices. As you draw closer, you see them, a gathering of people standing knee-deep in the river, their hands raised toward the sky. They are singing, their voices blending into a single, resonant tone that seems to vibrate in your bones. The boat slows, and you watch as the singers turn their faces toward you. Their eyes are calm, their expressions serene. One of them steps forward, holding a small bowl filled with clear water. They offer it to you, and you drink. The water is cool, and as it touches your lips, the hum of their voices seems to grow louder inside your mind. It is not a song you can remember, yet you know you will never forget it. When the bowl is empty, the singers bow and return to their places in the river. The figure rows on, and their voices fade into the distance, leaving only the sound of the water and the steady beat of your heart. The river bends once more, and the journey continues. The river widens again, opening into a vast expanse of water, so still it mirrors the sky perfectly. It is as though you are drifting through the clouds themselves, the line between earth and heaven erased. The air is warmer here, touched by the faint scent of salt, though You are far from the sea. The cloaked figure rose slowly, letting the boat glide between clusters of tall reeds. Their feathery tops sway gently, brushing against one another with a sound like soft rain. Somewhere in the distance, you hear the call of a night bird, low, melodic, and hauntingly beautiful. Ahead, a small island rises from the water. Its shore is ringed with smooth, pale stones, and at its center stands a single tower of white marble. The tower is slender, its surface glowing faintly in the moonlight, as though it has been standing here for centuries, waiting for you. The boat touches the shore, and you step onto the stones. They are warm beneath your feet, holding the memory of the day's sun. A narrow path leads to the base of the tower, where a wooden door stands slightly ajar. Inside, the air is cool and scented with lavender. A spiral staircase winds upward, lit by a small lantern set into the wall. You climb slowly, each step echoing softly in the stillness. At the top, you emerge into a circular room with windows on all sides. From here, you can see the entire expanse of the lake, the winding ribbon of the river, and the dark shapes of the forest beyond. The stars seem closer here, as if you could reach out and touch them. In the center of the room stands a low table. Upon it rests a large, shallow bowl filled with water. The cloaked figure gestures for you to look into it. As you lean over the bowl, the water begins to ripple. Though no wind stirs it, images form, not of the past or the future, but of moments that exist outside of time. You see yourself walking through a field of golden grass, standing at the edge of a cliff above a vast ocean, sitting beside a fire in a place you have never been, yet somehow know. The figure speaks softly. These are the places your spirit remembers. They are always with you, even when you cannot see them. You watch until the images fade, leaving only the still surface of the water. The figure covers the bowl with a cloth, and the room grows quieter still. You descend the staircase, the lanterns casting long shadows on the walls. Outside, the boat waits, its lantern glowing steadily. You step inside, and the figure rows away from the island. The lake stretches out behind you, the tower growing smaller, until it is only a pale shape against the horizon. The river takes you once more, its current gentle, its voice low. The night deepens, and the stars wheel slowly overhead. You feel the weight of the journey in your body, but it is not a burden. It is the steady, grounding weight of belonging. The figure rows on, and the sound of the water becomes the only sound in the world. Ahead, the river bends, disappearing into shadow, and you follow it without hesitation, knowing the path will always lead you where you need to go. The river grows quieter here, as if it too is holding its breath. The banks draw closer, lined with tall cypress trees, whose roots twist deep into the water. Their branches arch overhead, weaving together to form a living tunnel. The air is cool and still, carrying the faint scent of damp earth and ancient wood. The cloaked figure rows slowly, the sound of the oars muffled by the thick canopy above. The light is dim, filtered through layers of leaves, and the water reflects it in shifting patterns. You feel as though you have entered a place untouched by time, a sanctuary hidden from the world. After a while, the tunnel opens into a small circular pool surrounded by stone walls. Water trickles down from the moss-covered rocks, creating a soft, constant music. In the center of the pool, a single stone platform rises just above the surface. The figure guides the boat to its edge and gestures for you to step onto it. The stone is smooth beneath your feet, warmed by some unseen source. You stand in the center, and the sound of the water seems to grow louder, wrapping around you like a gentle embrace. The figure speaks softly. This is the circle of echoes. Here, the river will return your own voice to you, so you may hear what your heart has been saying all along. You close your eyes and breathe deeply. At first, there is only the sound of the water. Then, slowly, you begin to hear something else. A voice, quiet but clear. It is your own, speaking words you have not dared to say aloud. They are not commands or questions, but truths, simple, steady, and undeniable. When you open your eyes, the figure is watching you with a calm, knowing expression. You step back into the boat, and the journey continues. The river widens again, and sunlight begins to filter through the trees. The air grows warmer, carrying the scent of wild mint and fresh rain. Birdsong returns, soft and melodic, as if welcoming you back from a long dream. Ahead, the water splits into two channels. The figure chooses the left, where the current is slower and the banks are lined with flowering shrubs. Their blossoms are pale pink and white, and their fragrance is sweet and calming. You drift past a family of swans gliding gracefully across the water. They move in perfect unison, their reflections shimmering beneath them. One turns its head to watch you as you pass, its dark eyes calm and unafraid. The channel narrows once more, and you see a small wooden pier ahead. Beyond it, a path winds upward into a grove of fruit trees, heavy with ripe, golden fruit. The figure ties the boat and leads you ashore. The grass here is soft and springy, and the air is filled with the scent of the fruit. You reach up and pluck one from a low branch. Its skin is warm from the sun, and when you bite into it, the juice is sweet and cool, flooding your senses with a deep, simple joy. The figure smiles faintly, as if this moment is exactly what they hoped you would find. You sit beneath the tree, savoring the fruit, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin and the gentle breeze in your hair. For a long while, there is nothing but this: the taste, the light, the quiet, and in that stillness, you realize that the path is not only about where you are going, but about the moments you allow yourself to truly be. When you rise, the figure leads you back to the boat. The river is waiting, patient as always, ready to carry you onward into whatever lies ahead. The river's voice changes again, becoming a low, steady murmur as it winds between gentle hills. The air is warmer now, touched by the scent of sun-warmed grass and distant blossoms. The sky above is a deep velvet blue, scattered with stars that seem to pulse softly, as if breathing with you. The cloaked figure rose with unhurried grace, their movements so fluid they seem part of the river itself. You feel the rhythm of the oars in your chest, a quiet heartbeat that matches your own. The world beyond this journey feels impossibly far away. Ahead, the hills part to reveal a wide valley bathed in silver light. The river slows here, curling lazily through fields of tall, pale flowers that sway in the night breeze. Their petals catch the moonlight, glowing faintly, and their fragrance drifts across the water, sweet, calming, almost hypnotic. The boat drifts to the shore, and you step onto soft earth. The flowers surround you, their stems brushing gently against your hands as you walk. The cloaked figure leads you along a narrow path that winds deeper into the field. At the center of the valley stands a stone archway, weathered but strong. Vines climb its sides, their leaves shimmering faintly. Beyond the arch, the flowers give way to a small, still pond. Its surface is so smooth it reflects the stars perfectly, as though the sky has been laid upon the water. The figure gestures for you to kneel at the edge. This is the mirror of quiet truths, they say softly. Here, you may see yourself as you truly are, without fear, without doubt. You lean over the water, and your reflection gazes back at you. But it is not the reflection you know. It is calmer, lighter, free of the burdens you have carried. The eyes looking back at you are steady and kind, filled with a peace that feels both new and ancient. You sit there for a long time, breathing in the stillness, letting the image sink into your heart. When you finally rise, the figure is waiting. You pass back through the archway, the flowers parting gently as you walk. Back at the river, the boat waits patiently. You step inside, and the journey resumes. The current carries you toward a grove of tall, slender trees, whose trunks gleam white in the moonlight. Their branches sway gently, and the sound they make is like the soft rustle of silk. The air here is cooler, scented with mint and rain. The figure guides the boat to a small dock, hidden among the roots. You step ashore and follow a winding path that leads to a clearing. In its center stands a circle of stones, each one carved with symbols you do not recognize. A small fire burns in the middle, its flames low and steady. The figure motions for you to sit beside the fire. They take a pouch from within their cloak and sprinkle a handful of herbs into the flames. The smoke rises in slow, curling tendrils, carrying a scent that is both grounding and uplifting. You close your eyes and breathe it in. Images begin to form in your mind, not visions of places or people, but of feelings, safety, belonging, peace. The warmth of the fire seeps into your skin, and the earth beneath you feels solid and steady. When you open your eyes, the figure is watching you with quiet approval. They rise, and you follow them back to the boat. The fire's glow fades behind you, replaced once more by the silver shimmer of the river. The night feels deeper now, as though you have crossed some unseen threshold. The journey continues, and you know there is still much ahead. The river narrows into a winding corridor of water, its banks lined with tall reeds that sway in unison, whispering softly to the night. The air is cooler here, carrying the scent of fresh rain. Though no clouds touch the sky, the moonlight filters through the shifting reeds, casting moving patterns across the surface of the water. The cloaked figure rows slowly, each stroke of the oars deliberate and unhurried. The sound of the boat gliding through the water blends with the gentle rustle of the reeds, creating a rhythm that soothes your mind. You feel as though you are being carried deeper into a place where the world's noise cannot follow. Ahead, the reeds part to reveal a small inlet. In its center, a cluster of stones rises from the water, forming a natural platform. Upon it sits a single ancient bell, its surface weathered and covered in delicate moss. The figure guides the boat to the edge of the platform and gestures for you to step out. The stone is cool beneath your feet. You approach the bell and the figure speaks softly. This is the bell of still waters. It rings not with sound, but with silence. Strike it, and you will hear what lies beneath all things. You place your hand on the bell and give it a gentle push. There is no audible tone, yet the air around you changes. A deep, resonant stillness fills the space, as if the world itself has paused to listen. In that silence, you feel your own heartbeat, slow and steady, and the quiet presence of something vast and kind. When the moment passes, the figure nods, and you return to the boat. The river carries you onward, the reeds closing behind you like a curtain. The banks begin to rise into low, rolling hills covered in soft grass. The air grows warmer, touched by the scent of wild thyme and clover. In the distance, you see a faint glow, not the cold light of the moon, but the warm flicker of fire. As you draw closer, you find a small camp nestled in a hollow between the hills. A circle of stones surrounds a low fire, and around it sit travelers dressed in simple cloaks. They greet you with quiet smiles and offer you a place by the flames. You sit, feeling the warmth seep into your skin. One of the travelers passes you a wooden cup filled with a fragrant drink. It tastes of honey and herbs, soothing and sweet. The conversation around the fire is soft, unhurried. Stories are told in low voices, each one carrying the weight of memory and the comfort of shared experience. You listen, letting the words wash over you like the river's current. After a time, the cloaked figure rises, and you know it is time to continue. You thank the travelers, and they nod in understanding. The fire's glow fades behind you as the boat drifts once more into the open water. The night feels deeper now, the stars brighter. The river bends ahead, disappearing into shadow, and you follow without hesitation, knowing the path will always lead you where you are meant to be. The river's current slows until the boat seems to drift almost without movement. The air is heavy with the scent of night-blooming flowers, their perfume sweet, but not overwhelming. The moon hangs low, casting a silver path across the water that seems to lead directly ahead. The cloaked figure rests the oars, letting the boat glide in silence. You hear only the faint lapping of water against the hull and the distant call of an unseen bird. The stillness here feels deliberate, as though the river itself is pausing to let you breathe. Ahead, the banks rise into gentle slopes covered in tall grass. A narrow wooden pier juts into the water, lit by a single lantern swaying in the breeze. The figure guides the boat alongside it, and you step onto the weathered boards. A path winds upward through the grass, leading to a small plateau. At its center stands a stone table surrounded by 4 carved chairs. On the table rests a single object, a crystal sphere, faintly glowing from within. The cloaked figure gestures for you to sit. They place their hands on the sphere, and the glow brightens, casting shifting patterns of light across the grass. This is the memory stone, they say softly. It holds the echoes of every traveler who has walked the path before you. You place your hands on the sphere, and warmth spreads through your palms. Images begin to form within the crystal. Faces you do not know, places you have never been, yet each one feels strangely familiar. You see moments of joy, of sorrow, of quiet reflection. They pass like ripples on water, leaving behind a sense of connection to something vast and timeless. When you lift your hands, the glow fades, and the night feels deeper, richer. The figure rises, and you follow them back down the path to the pier. The boat drifts away from the shore, and the river carries you into a stretch where the banks are lined with willows. Their long branches trail in the water, swaying gently with the current. The sound they make is soft, like the sigh of someone falling into a deep, peaceful sleep. The figure rose slowly, and the willows part to reveal a hidden cove. In its center floats a small platform made of woven reeds. anchored by ropes to the riverbed. Lanterns hang from poles at each corner, their light warm and steady. You step onto the platform, and the gentle rocking beneath your feet feels like the rhythm of a cradle. The figure sits across from you, their voice low and calm. Here, you may speak your thoughts aloud, and the river will carry them away. You close your eyes and let the words come, not rehearsed, not planned, but honest. They drift into the night air, soft and unhurried, until they are no longer yours to hold. When you open your eyes, the figure is smiling faintly. The boat is waiting, and the journey continues. The willows close behind you, and the river bends once more, leading you toward the next chapter of the path. The current becomes almost imperceptible, as if the river itself is holding its breath. A fine mist rises from the surface, wrapping the world in a soft silver veil. Moonlight diffuses through the haze, forming halos that pulse gently, like the quiet thrum of a heartbeat. The boat glides without effort, guided by the traveler's subtle touch on the oar. The silence is so deep that your own breathing feels loud in your chest. You sense you are entering a sacred place, where even time steps lightly. Ahead, the mist parts to reveal a ring of standing stones set in the middle of the river. They are tall, moss-clad, and ancient. Older than memory, older than names. At the circle's heart, the water glows from within, as though keeping a secret. The cloaked figure anchors the boat and motions for you to step down. The water is shallow and warm, lapping gently at your ankles as you wade to the center. There, a smooth stone rests atop another, placed with careful intention. This is the marker of silence, the traveler whispers. Whoever touches this stone hears themselves with clarity. You kneel and place your hand upon the stone. Instantly the world's sound falls away. No river, no wind, not even breath. Only a vast, luminous stillness within, and in that stillness, a single truth, peace. When you lift your hand, sound returns slowly, like morning light filling a room. The traveler watches in quiet acknowledgement, then gestures you back to the boat. The mist closes behind you as the river finds its voice again. Soon, the banks widen and reveal fields lit by countless small blooms. They are not torches, not lanterns, but flowers shining from within, scattered like fallen stars. The boat noses against a soft, mossy shore, speckled with light. You step onto the grass and feel a gentle warmth rise through your feet. The traveler plucks one glowing flower and sets it in your palms. It will keep a piece of this night for you. You walk together a short way to a low hill. From its crest, the river coils under the moon, and beyond, a stone bridge arches toward a land that looks almost otherworldly. The traveler stands beside you. From here the path changes, but you already carry what you need. You descend together, the river's steady murmur growing stronger. The boat awaits, patient as ever, and the journey draws you toward the bridge waiting just around the bend. The stone bridge rises ahead, its arch reflected perfectly in the still water below, forming a circle of light and shadow. The air here feels different, charged, as if the space between each breath holds something unspoken. The cloaked figure rows slowly toward it, the sound of the oars echoing softly against the stone. As you pass beneath the arch, the world seems to shift. The river's voice deepens, its current stronger, carrying you forward with a quiet determination. The moonlight grows brighter, painting the water in silver fire. Beyond the bridge, the banks are lined with lanterns set upon tall wooden poles. Their flames sway gently, casting long, wavering shadows across the path of the river. The air is warmer now, scented with cedar and faint traces of smoke. The boat drifts toward a landing where a narrow stairway climbs the bank. You follow the figure upward, the wood creaking softly beneath your steps. At the top, you find a wide terrace overlooking the river. A long table is set here, covered in white cloth and lit by dozens of candles. Figures sit along the table, their faces serene, their eyes reflecting the candlelight. One rises and gestures for you to join them. A place has been set, a simple bowl of clear broth, steam curling into the night air. You sit, and the warmth of the bowl seeps into your hands. The first sip is delicate, almost weightless, yet it fills you with a deep, grounding calm. No one speaks, yet the silence is not empty. It is full, rich with unspoken welcome. When the meal is finished, the cloaked figure leads you to the far end of the terrace. A narrow path winds downward through a grove of tall pines. The scent of resin and earth fills the air, and the ground is soft with fallen needles. At the grove's heart, you find a small pool fed by a trickling spring. The water glows faintly, and smooth stones line its edge. The figure kneels and cups the water in their hands, offering it to you. You drink, and the taste is pure and cool, carrying with it a sense of renewal. It feels as though the water is washing away the last remnants of weariness from your journey. The figure's voice is low, almost a whisper. From here, the path will lead you to its quietest place. Walk slowly, listen deeply. You return to the boat, the lanterns along the shore swaying gently in the breeze. The river takes you once more, its current steady, its voice calm. Ahead, the water disappears into a narrow passage between two high cliffs, and you feel the pull of what lies beyond. close in around you, their dark faces rising high above the water. The river narrows to a quiet channel, the current slow and deliberate, as if guiding you toward a final destination. The air is cool here, carrying the faint scent of stone and rain. Somewhere ahead, you hear the soft, steady sound of water falling. The cloaked figure rose without hurry, their gaze fixed on the narrowing passage. The sound of the waterfall grows clearer, but it is not loud. It is gentle, like a curtain of rain on leaves. As you round the last bend, you see it. A thin veil of water spilling from a cleft in the rock, glowing faintly in the moonlight. The boat drifts closer, and the figure gestures for you to reach out. Your fingers pass through the falling water, and it is warm, almost weightless. Beyond it lies a hidden alcove, its walls shimmering with reflected light. Inside, the air is still. The floor is covered in soft moss, and a small pool rests at the center, its surface perfectly still. The figure steps ashore and motions for you to follow. This is the heart of the path, they say quietly. Every journey leads here, though few realize it. This is where you meet yourself. You kneel beside the pool and look into its depths. At first you see only your reflection. Then, slowly, the image changes. You see yourself as you were when you began this journey, and as you are now. The difference is not in your face, but in your eyes. Calmer, clearer, carrying the quiet strength of the road you have walked. The figure places a hand on your shoulder. You have listened. You have let go. You have learned to carry the stillness with you. The path will always be here, but now it will also be wherever you are. You close your eyes, breathing in the silence of the alcove. When you open them again, the pool is just water, the moss just moss, the air just air, yet everything feels changed. You return to the boat, and the figure rows back through the veil of water. The cliffs open, the river widens, and the first light of dawn begins to touch the horizon. The journey is ending, but the path is not gone. It runs quietly beneath your every step, waiting, patient, eternal. The figure smiles faintly, their voice barely above the sound of the water. Go well, traveler. The path walks with you now. The boat drifts onward into the morning light, and you carry the stillness with you, knowing it will never leave.